deal with this shit?
No, absolutely not.
I got it.
All right, hurry up. First Blood, could you repeat that? Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I just said that Iran has closed its airspace to everyone except their air force.
Dice Alex
Okay,
streaming
perfect.
down.
So we're getting battle ready
Salmon
then.
dinner. I learned to love this food. I
Battle
feel the
ready,
protein.
baby.
Okay.
They are locked and loaded.
Oh my god, I wish I was there. Holy shit, I wish I was there. Fuck.
Well, you be careful what you say out loud. Maybe you'll get drafted.
Not here. Fuck that. No. What the fuck am
Yeah,
I
you already allowed cookies to your FBI agent, and he heard that. Duly noted.
So the explosions that sounded near Isfahan airport and the Iranian army's Hashtam Shikari airbase. That seems to be the target.
Okay.
And here comes
So they're going
here.
airbase for an airbase. Since Iran targeted their own airbase on the 14th, they're trying to target their, it's like basically the same response.
Which would also make sense if they were targeting Iran's nuclear facilities, like since Iran had damaged the secret nuclear facility in Israel. That would also make sense that
from their perspective, I think they've called the Iranian bluff to target like for like in a limited strike, because then Iran could say, okay, we end it here, but Iran already said that they're going to double down. So they are looking for a bigger fight, and maybe we even underestimate this whole, the petrodollar region. That's like the talons of that empire's eagle, right? And Israel is just a tool for their foreign policy there. Maybe this is driving it as well, because they're losing on the chessboard, and maybe they're more crazy than we think.
I'm pretty sure the U.S. is the tool of Israel's foreign policy here.
But do we know for sure, have any U.S. assets been involved?
So far, just reports of U.S. drones overhead in Iraq.
Right, those could be like surveillance drones or something like that, right? Because I think that the United States, I'm just trying to figure out if the United States is actually staying out of this, and this was something that
nothing happens without their green light there.
No, their bases. I'm saying, did anything take off from any of those bases that said they wouldn't be used?
We don't know yet. What we know is that, you only have the ABC channel that made the statement that Israel attacked Iran, and I didn't see anything about the American drones being, targeting Iran. But I do agree that they need the green light. I mean, they might have gotten the green light, but I think the missiles thus far seems to be Israeli and not American.
You got heavy jet activity reported over Iraq and Syria. Unclear if it's U.S. Air Force or Israeli Air Force. Now, it would be a greater deterrence to Iran not to retaliate if the U.S. was joining the strike, the offensive. But I think that's why they made this last-minute call to join Israel in this, obviously calculated strike. Still very, it still is going to flare tensions, but hey.
Yeah, I'm seeing Jackson's account says that Israeli missile strikes reportedly bombed a high-level IRGC meeting in Baghdad, Iraq. Very concerning.
So I wanted to kind of bring up a future perspective that what we might see in the regards of Hamas and the rest of the resistance in Gaza. If this goes into a full-blown war, and we continue to see strikes from one side to the other constantly, that's going to affect what's going on in Gaza. I mean, there's a possibility
isn't it Ayatollah Khamenei's birthday?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. So,
his birthday? By the way, there's also heavy activities going on in Ukraine right now. There's entry of cruise missiles into the airspace of Ukraine, starting from the...
Go! Yeah, we do that every night. This is called Thursday.
Yeah, and
Hey, not to get on the conspiracy train here, but Russian peacekeepers withdrew from the Azerbaijan territories, which this probably was launched from, this attack, and now we have a Russian onslaught
You
in
think so?
Ukraine.
You're going to throw out. You're going to start this now. There's Armenians, and you really want to do this now? All right, the Armenians. We've talked about that. The Armenians actually brought that up when they were talking about making the Russians leave. My friend Artin was saying they're going to use Azerbaijan to launch attacks on Iran. That was like a big time. Like he kept on saying, and we were like, "Shut up."
Also, good catch, Didi. Over there, it is April 19th, and April 19th is Ayatollah Khamenei's birthday.
Is that the current Khomeini or the okay?
The current Ayatollah, yeah. His birthday is April 19th.
Very base, man.
From our more military-minded people, what do we expect as a response from the axis of resistance? I still think that it hasn't seemed like Hezbollah has really kind of unleashed the full force of their capacity. That's something that I've kind of been keeping an eye on as one of the, I think, most directly impactful fronts. But I would like to see, I'd like to hear from others who are a little bit more tapped into the military strategy.
They've been saying a couple of minutes. That's what the rhetoric. That's what the rhetoric has been all week.
Let's see what.
Ten times. That was the term used. Yep.
Yo, how many missiles did they fire last time? Total? Do we know?
300 something.
No, man, that was in the first strike. 300.
After that was 5 to 9 or something ballistics.
Okay, do we have a total, grand total? Like if they fired 2,000, 5,000 or whatever. Do we know? I'm sure it was more than a few thousand.
Oh, good. Tyler's here.
Didi, I thought you would be doing some research right now, like looking for evidence.
What do you want? How many missiles?
How many missiles and rockets or whatever total were fired?
We won't know yet. Give me a little bit. Sorry. I'm still trying to find out what platforms they were fired from. 'Cause I can't tell.
No, not from Israel, though. I'm talking about Iran to Israel.
Oh, not Iran. I don't believe Iran ever released official numbers. So if you want to believe the Israeli numbers, which I believe are pumped up, so they can therefore pump up their interception rate, they said like 200 missiles, 200 projectiles.
That's
and a huge swarm of
which is highly over-exaggerated, so you can't take that
over
source.
100 drones too, like a swarm of over 100 drones. So
wait, I thought it'd be more than that. Holy shit! There's a rabbit in my lawn. Yo, where's my gun? Damn it.
Yeah, another thing that's notable here, of course, we're not going to see any type of meaningful response from politicians in the West condemning Israel. even though we saw basically a united chorus, even from our most, quote, progressive or left-leaning politicians condemning Iran. One of the things that I noticed here, though, is that in Iran's attacks a few days ago, they gave it seemed like they gave significant notice to both the United States, to the Israeli authorities, to Jordan, other countries involved, about this attack, that it seems like planes were diverted significantly, or at least somewhat in advance of the strikes. And here, in the situation unfolding right now, it does not appear that, or at least to my knowledge, we haven't seen that same type of signaling. We haven't seen that same type of signposting by Israel. So I feel like this is another example of Israel's just reckless and provocative behavior. But I'm not sure if we have any other information on that. But I do think it's notable that the flights are kind of in the process of being diverted as Israel is carrying out these attacks, whereas it seemed that these flights were diverted well in advance when Iran carried out its drone and missile strike.
Well, didn't Iran inform Israel beforehand, preemptively about the attack?
Yeah, like a week beforehand.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think it's really important to identify whether or not and I know it's too early, but I think it's important to identify whether or not any U.S. bases were used, because what the U.S. said last week, where they said we're not going to allow or when it was announced that the Gulf countries said we're not going to allow our bases to be used, I think that was the U.S. taking its assets off the table and pretty much just taking its ball and kind of getting off the court. Right? They don't want their bases to be used as an attack source, which indicates probably that there are people in the U.S. military that are basically preemptively protecting, their posture in the Middle East from Israel.
Maybe, but it's just as likely the United States could be talking out of both sides of their mouth when Joe Biden says he wants to de-escalate the genocide in Gaza and then start sending Delta Force troops.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure they're giving them non-lethal intel. I'm sure they're giving them like non-lethal intel and information, maybe data. But for them to actually be involved, so far I don't see any evidence of it. Especially if it was U.S. If it was Israeli jets taking off and launching from like Syria or Iraq or wherever.
No, where the situation currently stands, this is already grounds for a regional war here, if Iran chooses to go that path.
Right, but I mean, don't you think? Does Iran have justification to attack U.S. bases right now? I don't think so. Israel or Iran? Oh, okay. That'd probably be easy to.
They kind of have to. Nothing they have is going to reach there, not in the volumes that they want. So they have to be able to. I mean, look at the range on any of their aircraft launch missiles. They don't have the range unless they use bases outside of Israel itself, closer to Iran.
Yeah, and that's exactly the logic there. Because as things continue to heat up, Israel is going to be in a more and more dire situation. And it seems like just the logic of escalation is going to, at some point, drag the United States into this, regardless of the will of the political or military leaders on the U.S. side. So it'll be interesting to see. Man, this is crazy.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt they're trying their best to get America in, but is America, at least the U.S. military, trying its best to stay out? That's the question. Exactly.
Well, they're gonna play. They're gonna play U.S. defense. They're gonna play defense for now. They know very well how this is gonna escalate and how it's gonna unfold. You know, now balls in Iran's court to do a massive attack on Israel, and that's when Israel will rally the U.S. and the allies to go on a offensive, campaign.
Well, the thing is that Iran has already said that they will respond immediately. They said it won't take days, it won't take weeks. They will respond within minutes. So I would think that what we're looking at, depending on what gets struck right now, that there's going to be return fire tonight.
I agree 100% with that. And interesting enough, we got.
And also the possibility of false flags, right? Because that's another way they're going to try to drag the United States in, with Israel with maybe Israel having even maybe pre-staged an attack on U.S. assets that would look like Iranian retaliation. I mean, that's a possibility.
Barracks, fix me.
What am I, your therapist?
You are now.
Barracks, the choice now lies between. Wait,
right.
got dropped? Damn, that's how you fix it?
Rotating. All right. My secret police are rotating DD Geopolitics, cloning her, creating a mask to put over as a body double. All right. We have the body double is back up. DDG 2.0. Deep fake DD. Are you fully activated?
Yes. Oh, Sammy's here, my tandem troll partner. Sammy, what spaces have you explored during the bombing campaign? What are they talking about in the crazy spaces?
Oh, I haven't been in any of them yet.
They're hyperventilating right now.
I was in Piotr's earlier today, and we were all saying it's looking like Israel's not going to be attacking Iran, and then, of course, 1 hour later they did.
Yeah, well, Piotr's always been known for his wonderful geopolitical insight and analysis, so I'm shocked he wasn't right.
I made a tweet yesterday that I was willing to bet my entire life savings that Israel's going to attack either this weekend, because they're not going to do the whole Passover thing. It's going to die down. They're going to lose steam, and the U.S. is definitely going to, discourage them from any strike. They had to do it while the tensions were high.
Well, I'm glad you did. I didn't meet you. We didn't meet then, because I would have bet the other way. And my gosh, yeah, wow. Win some, lose some, right? I don't spend a lot of money. Like it's just a little thing that I do, but otherwise I am very frugal with money, actually. So, but I've always had a fascination with history and politics. So, I see patterns repeating, and I should have realized that no, Israel is going to be keep on being its irrational self. It's going to push the envelope. It knows the squeakier its wheel gets, the more grease it'll receive. And I think what happened last night is that Israel said, "Look, if we can't attack Iran, we want to start the Rafah clearing campaign." And Biden I think Biden said no to that. So Israel said, "Okay, fuck it, we're going against Iran."
That's crazy, though. He granted them a strike, or I don't know if they did it regardless with or without Biden's blessing. But I thought they were just simply going to take the Rafah, invasion over a strike on Iran. But I guess they knew there was no winning there.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost agreeing with some Piotr that Israel's not going to do shit, but I was at the same time, Netanyahu probably wants to do something because, he's he wants to stay in power, and the regional war is going to prolong how long he gets to stay in power for sure. And you know what? Yeah. That's good for the acts of resistance. The longer Netanyahu's dumbass is in power. So
and he just came out today. No, well, Marco Rubio already came out. He just spilled the beans and said that Israel has the right to attack Iran from outside its airspace. He literally just tweeted that.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything. Rubio's a real Israelophile, so
he's on the intelligence committee too. He's privy to a lot of information.
Why they didn't go after Rafah is because there would be too many casualties, and they've already sustained a lot of casualties. This way, they can maybe mitigate some of it. We'll see what happens overnight. If Iran attacks back at Israel, we'll see where they hit. But I think the attempt to go into Rafah would be a very risky in comparison to attacking Iran directly, unless, of course, Iran decides to go all out and drop, 10,000 bombs on Israel tonight.
Yeah, but no, you summated that really well. That's exactly it, Tyler.
They said we're going to stir up the fog of war with Iran, and we're going to go ahead and slip whatever we have to do with Rafah. We're going to continue the genocide, and we're going to be able to do it with this smoke screen of a conflict with Iran.
Oh,
this was their ultimatum right here.
It wouldn't matter whether it's day or night in terms of that sort of stuff. I mean, they just do it mostly, I think, so that it's easier because there's less people around at night. More people are at home. There's less risk of collateral damage. I think that's more of it.
Now you're going to see broad daylight Israel's dignity. I think so.
I mean, we were expected to have an official statement from the IRGC for now, because all we have is like confirmations on the Western side. But until they come up with a statement, everything will be speculation for now.
So were these in the vicinity of the nuclear sites, or were these like military bases? That's what I'm hearing, but I'm leaning towards it. I have no idea,
I don't think it's confirmed yet whether they hit a nuclear site or whether they hit or what exactly they hit yet. But
because I'm seeing the video I'm seeing is that air defense systems were activated, but no explosions seen. So like we have to. Because when Marco Rubio says Israel has a right to attack Iran and whatnot, that's not a confirmation. That's just That's just neocons being bloodthirsty.
Neocons, yeah.
The only information
he dived
that we
into
have.
specifics. He said, we know what kind of information he has access to, and he went into the details and said, it's adding up. It's what he was saying about striking Iran from outside.
Yeah, but regarding to the explosions, the only information that we have is they sounded near Isfahan airport, commercial airport, and the Iranian army's Hashtam Shikari air base. Doesn't mean that they were targeted. Maybe they were intercepted. We don't know yet. But that's where they sounded. Which is, by the way, one of the main air bases for the RGC.
And then Royal Intel IRGC linked news sources seem to have confirmed. And they're on the ground assessing right now.
Sorry?
So are you guys suggesting there's things? Does it look like it's just a couple of strikes? And actually, because if this is an extremely limited response from Israel, maybe everyone can just kind of take a deep breath in and just walk away from this, and let valor be the better part of discretion, or discretion be the better part of valor this time. So.
Yeah, that would be logical, but when it comes to their statement, if they say something, they will do it. And they warned Israel in case of any attack of their territory, the response will be immediate. So if they don't do anything, it will be a huge loss for Iran and for those who support Iran, meaning the axis of resistance, and they cannot afford that.
Yeah, you can't retaliate to a completely justified retaliation on a strike. On a consulate. Israel's already on the offensive yet. They're already declaring war with this, even no matter how small and minuscule the strike is.
Yeah, I understand that, and Iran is morally justified to behave that way. Jeez, I just hope this keeps to really small little double taps or something, because this is go crazy real fast.
I mean, let's let it go crazy once and for all. Like, why should it be like always take photo, blah blah blah? Like, like the whole region is boiling. There's a new power in the region. It's called Iran, right? And it needs to be challenged, and it's being challenged right now. And I think that the only way for them to impose themselves is literally to humble the Israelis they need to go all out. Like, who cares if it's like, if it takes like, what would people prefer, for it to take like 20 years or like 2 years?
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe so, right? Let's resolve some things and kind of move on.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Genocide, they engage in all kind of regime change, they topple governments left and right. They're a complete unhinged maniac state in the Middle East there, and they do need to be uprooted. And so Iran, they have every right to go all out and, escalate this to, full-blown war.
Well, I see Iran's response to various militias in the area is really a response to, freaking U.S. and Israeli sponsoring various militias like ISIS in the area, and. So, if I look at a map of whose bases are around who, I see about, like 24 U.S. bases around Iran. And so it's difficult for me to look at Iran as a sponsor of terror and, the initiator of violence. They have to have some sort of response. And you can put your hand on the map and you can't cover Iran, but you can put your thumb on Israel and cover it. I hope the Israelis, I wish the U.S. would have said no to Israel. They would have been the best friend Israel would have ever had 6 months ago, and just know the whole fucking shit show, because, this is really exposing kind of the aggression of Zion racial supremacy. It's difficult for Israel to hide. It's been a complete freaking pure, complete disaster for Israeli, Zionism. It doesn't look like it's going to see its 100th birthday in the Mideast, and here in the West, it's been another red pill for a society that needs a few more to be fully awoken. So anyway, I'll get off my horse here. Thanks.
Yeah, Tony. I agree. The level of Zionist aggression is definitely something notable. But at the same time, I think that we can't understate the unity of interest here between. I think that maybe it's a mistake to get a little bit too bogged down in some of the institutional divisions between the United States and Israel. I've seen a couple of accounts on here already saying, "Oh, why doesn't the United States, inspire Israeli generals to mutiny and overthrow Netanyahu or some of the leading commanders who are, obviously at the forefront of these attacks and retaliatory attacks?" But I think that we are also reminded that we have to keep an eye on the bigger picture here, and that there is a unity of interest between the institutions in the United States, the ruling institutions in the United States and Israel, and that they both have elements of strong Zionist influence and control. And I think that, part of the reason why the United States has failed for the last 6 months to really rein in Israel is in part because I think this is a defining moment for unipolarity, and the United and the United States world power overall. I think that we are really in this moment where Iran has been such a important ally, material ally of the Russian armed forces, the collective power of Iran, China, and Russia is kind of reaching this tipping point where we're getting to this collective mass, I think, of the global majority attaining that power to overthrow the 400 years of Western colonial domination once and for all.
It's not 1990 anymore, right? The Arab countries have really caught up, and there's a lot of, you don't have to be, I'm sorry. Go on, please.
No, I was finished making my point, but I think the overall message was just that, we can get bogged down in the details here, but I think that this conflict has been decades really in the making, and it maybe was always destined to happen.
Like this Israel and Iran firing back and forth at each other is two sides of a war, both funded by American tax dollars. Elon Musk just posted this under OSINT Defenders tweets, and I posted under.
Elon is such a geopolitical fucking normie moron. It's
Right.
like, I'm just gonna taste the fucking white ortho nationalist bro position and roll with it, but also be a Zionist. It's like the most bizarre ideology I've ever seen. He's nuts. Like, I'm autistic and he takes the cake.
Yeah, I posted this under his tweet. It's a very basic take, but still true that Iran, like, how is Iran being paid for by American taxes when they're under sanctions by the United States?
Why do we have to do this every effing day with these people? All right, why are we doing hands? Like, why do we have to do this every day about Iran and Israel?
Yeah,
Why are you deflecting from the fact that, like, Israel is in bedfellows with who they really are, and we're talking about Iran and China? Like, what?
Yeah, I'm putting the post up here because I'm looking through the comments and people are like, hey, back under the Shah, America gave. Back in the 70s, we gave Iran F-14 Tomcats. Dummy. Didn't you know that 50 years ago, we gave Iran a couple of F-14s? It was like, yeah, they're not being used in this case. Iran is firing ballistic missiles and drones at Israel. What the hell are you talking about? People's geopolitical analysis is stuck in the 70s.
What tax dollars did we give to Iran? Hussein, you have my tax dollars, bro.
No,
we're probably talking about the money that we froze and then decided to give
their
back
money
to
that we decided to give.
Exactly, Joey. Yeah. That's exactly what they
and they used that money to buy ballistic missiles because they didn't already have them.
It's that Iranian privilege.
Yeah, we froze their resources, unfroze them, and that's our tax dollars somehow. But it's just crazy, man. Like, these idiots, Elon Musk has no idea, no conception about how the world works. They have no conception about what's going on, the broader forces at play, the evolution of multipolarity. They have no conception of it. And for a man whose companies are fundamentally, integrally tied to global supply chains, that you don't understand these things is just shocking. And I think it also speaks to the fact that really, the fandom for people like Elon Musk is just way overblown. I really don't understand how people don't understand it. I think people like Candace Owens, maybe it makes a little bit more sense. She's spent her time as a political commentator for the Daily Wire, and for her, I think I saw her tweet that too. Barrick's the same thing. It's like somehow the two sides, Israel and Hamas, and it's like our tax dollars, and then somehow also our tax dollars. I kind of get it from people like her a little bit more, but from these so-called, business leaders whose companies are critically connected to the entire world, that they should know how things work a little bit better.
From writers.
I think it's kind of hard to underestimate him, really.
We got Reuters quoting an Iranian source, and air defense, or the IRGC has raised its combat readiness throughout the country.
I just want to remind everyone, let's not overload the Jumbotron. We don't want the space to crash.
Oh, you can delete the old things.
So yeah, I don't know.
I think it's no hands, guys.
There's a main airport called the International Airport of the Imam Khomeini International Airport. Is that the main one? Because that's been canceled or temporarily closed for now.
Tyler,
It seems like the
Hassan, just
initial
jump in.
reports are indicating that the Israelis tried to attack an airbase in Isfahan, the one that hosts Iranian F-14s, and that a number of mini quadcopter drones were shot down as well.
The American-made F-14s you made.
Yeah.
They're like circa 1970s.
Yeah, from the
This is
1970s.
Can I
really
say
old.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
we've
really
called
far.
on you. We've said no hands. I asked you where my tax dollars were. You just sat there.
I'm at work. That's why I
Yeah, you're
cannot.
probably rejoicing, right? These crazy Iranians, they come into the space, they're like, we are so sad that we've gone one more night with Israel not bombing us.
Yeah, I'm little disappointed. I must admit that. The disappointment is that I think it's a psyop. It's a fake news, because it's in Iranians, we are not usually at all used to lie. So if there was a hit, you will see videos. You will see people saying, those who are opposing us, those who are opposing the Islamic Republic, they will come out and they will, take pictures and they will show it to the whole world. But they are not doing that. So I'm a little bit suspicious about all these things. And it could be videos. I have also posted some of these videos which are coming out of the telegrams, but it can be videos from within Israel which are, edited or.
Did you hear anything about explosions in the air? It says Al Mayadeen is reporting that information on the ground confirms that the explosions occurred in the airspace. Maybe it was air defense?
Yeah, there is some rumors about that. That the air defense system is up and running, and there is something up in the air. And I think, the reports about closing the airspace is maybe true, because if there is some rumors, then the first thing you will do is close the airspace, so you can control the air.
No, the first thing you do is get the nukes ready, then close the airspace. We're dealing with the Zionists.
Yeah, I think
So have,
make the hypersonic missiles ready first.
No,
that was what I wanted to do. It's over, game over. It's game over. If it is true, it's game over for Israel. I tell you guys, we are not kidding. And they can try.
Can I jump in and
they will
say
not
something
succeed.
very quick?
This time,
Yeah, please
it's
do, man.
serious.
Jump on in.
What?
Jump on in.
Inshallah,
Can I say something very quick, guys?
want it to happen, because we are not, we're not lunatic, but we want to give the iron fist in their faces. We want it
So
to be
Rida
over.
Abbasi,
We are waiting for them to make a mistake, but I think it's just because they want the Iranian people and the whole world on their toes, and they want us to be afraid, or some kind of a comedian acting what they are doing. It's fake news. It seems to me it's fake news. I don't know. We will see that
So to your point, Hassan, can you hear me? To your point,
100% sure if it is an attack or not. So I think we should just wait and see, because it doesn't seem to me realistic. But the airspace, closing of the airspace, I think it's realistic.
Please tell the Ayatollah we all love him and happy birthday.
Wish him a happy birthday.
I love him too.
Guys, can I jump in and say something very quick?
I think I wanted to come and say that because I'm at work. I'm having night shift, so I'm just suddenly got shocked. I was in the space. I was just listening, and suddenly the reports came and all that shit. But I don't know. Let's see. If it is, then we will have World War III tomorrow. Hossein Dali. Yeah, I have seen that his tweet that.
Yeah, the Israelis will be using drones as Israelis will be using drones
like
as a screen.
It's a made-up story, but let's see.
Anyways, hey, I'm going to go. I want to say thank you to DD Geo for bringing me up, and nice to see you, Tyler Pop, man. You really made sense, sir. Thank you. And anyways, moving on, let's hope for peace, my gosh.
All the best.
I'm back. Teray, put me back as co-host, please.
Alrighty. Joey's Chance, the Joey's Chance Deep State once again being reinstated. Few troubles. If you raise your hand again, I am going to crash this whole website.
There's refueling happening in Iraqi airspace apparently. So we'll see. Go ahead, Milad. You've been trying to jump in, and then we'll go to Tyler.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Can you hear me truly?
Yeah.
So basically, Isfahan is a province that has many strategical importance for Iran. In Isfahan, we have 8 tactical airbases.
He's probably
we have
tweeting. Few troubles. Are you there?
Yes, we have 8 tactical airbases. We have HESA production, which those Shahed drones were manufactured. There's also some facilities for producing warheads. And we have Natanz nuclear facilities. But I don't believe that Israeli aimed Natanz nuclear facilities because they're underground and 3 explosion is not going to do it. And I hear the sound, but I see no light or fire. I believe, according to Senator Rubio, the douchebag tweet, it is a possibility that those F-35s flew over Iraqi in low altitude and launch some kind of cruise missile or JDAM from Al-Anbar province in Iraq, and it would be capable to reach Iran, deep inside Iran. And there is some quadcopters, if you see the videos too. And they alert some those F-14s you speak about, and they're on the sky, I think 2 hours ago.
Yeah, also there's no reports. I'm sorry, there's no reports from any explosion on the ground. There's no smoke rising from the base at the time. So, like, just be careful with what we see, because I think Israel is more interested in to make an impact. They just want to make an impact, but not the impact itself. So
yeah, so it's gonna take a very, very successful, almost impossible mission to put anti-bunker, basically missiles and rockets on any aerospatial engine. It's gonna be a tough mission, very risky, and you're gonna hear a big boom. So it has to be very, very heavy warhead, but I don't know.
Few troubles, brother. Don't you think it's odd the same day that the general comes out and says, if they target our nuclear facilities, we will not only attack them, but we will also think about considering developing nuclear weapons. And the same day, they pretend, or there are reports that they are attacking Natanz. They're attacking.
It's perfect because we can see they're reckless. We can see that they do not care. They want to bring and wage a big war that they are ready to gamble the security of their civilians on, and it's absolutely clear to everyone to see. Like you said, the second they say this is the red line, Israel is like, okay, I'm crossing it. Like it's ridiculous. They want the region to go through regional war.
But if this
the spokesman of the Iranian Space Organization, air defenses shut down several small drones. That's the latest statement.
Yeah, but to reach those nuclear sites, like all those drones and missiles are not gonna make it. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna cut.
Yeah, they're gonna need GBU bunker buster variants,
Yep,
which US
like
produced.
some heavy stuff. Some
Which US produced in Texas, but US has not yet proved to sell those GBU variants to Israelis. The Congress hasn't proved it yet. I hope they never did.
But provoke Iran? You mean provoke Iran? Yeah. I was like, whoa.
Is there
I've
any
been
word
watching
I'm sorry.
Flight Radar, and I'm checking out all the planes. I see nothing in the sky of any sort of military aircraft around there. Nothing's on the radar.
Hello.
Yeah, Farhad, go ahead.
Okay. I think Tel Aviv and Haifa is going to be gone in 1 hour. I mean, in 1 hour from now.
Yeah, that's a very
wishful thinking. They're going to pray now.
Inshallah.
They're going to pray now.
That's a very heavy
They're
statement.
going to pray now.
That's
I mean,
very wishful thinking, but
guys, let's be realistic, guys. Please, come on, man. I mean, the more I
Look,
read,
first
the
of
more it
all-
seems that this attack is ridiculous. It's small drones, and it
Yeah.
seems that the source of the sound, is not foreign or military attack, according to the history of sabotage carried out by micro
they
drones.
attacked Iran. They attacked us.
Yeah, but Farhad,
but it can be an inside job too.
Claiming,
times
no,
as
but
much.
Farhad, claiming
10
that Iran
times
is
as
going
much.
to attack
If they
civilians,
attack us,
claiming
with
that Iran is
10
going
bombs,
to attack civilians is ridiculous. You have to stop this right now.
Is there any word?
Iran has
Haifa and Tel
have
Aviv are
showed,
targets. Haifa and Tel Aviv are targets.
yeah, but clearly,
We have clear.
so just
Haifa. We have clear
Yeah,
military targets.
hang on. Yeah, just so we're clear. So far, Iranian media is saying the only attacks that have occurred are these quadcopter drones. Which what are they going to retaliate for? And I'm sure they'll retaliate, but definitely not anything that's gonna Now, I'm not
so
done.
we are going to
Who let
send
this guy up?
so-
Learn some manners, man. I'm sorry, but on the eve of World War III, we're not going to be.
I let him up because he acts really
10
unhinged in
times.
my replies, and I thought it would be funny, and it is. It's hilarious.
I mean,
Yeah, on the eve of World War III, can we not entertain retardation?
But I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I really didn't.
So, look,
10 times,
I'm sure Iran will respond to this, but a few lame-ass, humiliating quadcopter drones, which were shot down in complete failure. I'm not sure that.
Fabrication.
I am gonna start. Don't make me start using the N-word again. I'm trying to be professional here.
No, just boot this low IQ dude, bro. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Look, let me just talk. I tell you my time.
We are not.
We can. Okay. We have.
What are we gonna talk about? Armageddon.
Okay. So I am
want,
putting my foot down. The secret police have escorted this man out of the building into the secret gulag. So we'll see him again in 6 months when he's been re-educated. Now the adults can continue having a respectable conversation. This space is being recorded. I will not have retards flooding this space. Okay, we can continue.
Yeah, I just wanted to say if it's a true attack, it's a ridiculous attack. It's so shameful, It's so shameful. It's not, they have just shown themselves to the whole world that they are Uzis. Sorry, my language, but I think I thought they were men, okay, but it seems like they are not. So it's what should we respond to, as you said? What is the response for quad drones, small drones which are what should we respond? Maybe we send Hamas to, tickle them a little. That is our response. But I think, it doesn't even deserve a response. But I think maybe we will respond.
I have a general question for everybody. Is there any word? I haven't seen anything about casualties or damage, and I think more will come out in time. But has anybody seen or heard anything about that?
No,
Well,
not
damage
yet.
from what?
Say that again, Touré.
Like damage from what? Collateral from what?
I mean, this the attack. We're hearing about an attack, but we're not. We're all talking about what the next stage of this is going to be, but I haven't really heard anything about how vast the damages are or the casualties.
I mean, we're not going to find anything until like later tomorrow. I mean, we have to confirm all of the reports and what the damages are.
Yeah, it'll be.
Yeah, if Iranian media,
the best.
if Iranian media is saying no attacks have come from outside Iran's borders, and that it was just like micro quadcopters, like this is more than likely just what we had been saying for like several days, is that Israel's most likely response was going to be funding third-party terrorist groups to attack Iran from within. So like it's shaping up to be that. Like a lot of hullabaloo about something we were predicting.
If Iran is attacked, if it is a true attack, you should expect, pictures from American boasting or Zionist entity boasting, and giving the full psychological effect, like Iran did. Iran showed that it was. It showed it a few hours later that it had fired. And it showed the Hezbollah showed its images. We have not seen any images from the Zionist side that they have started an attack. That is only rumors, and they always start up some psyops and small things to disturb, give psychological effect. It's not a real attack because they know that if they do a real attack, they will have a response. So I don't think they dare to go so far, but it's just like they are saying that we have done something. We have done something, but it is Iran who is not, telling the truth. They are not putting everything forth, but they are projecting their own, their own ways towards Iran. Iran will definitely come out and say whatever happened. They will come out and say it immediately. I don't think we will lie about that. If there is an attack, we will come out and say it.
Yeah, I think that Iran, there's a great quote during World War II when Germany was launching Operation Barbarossa, that the Germans, for all their technological capabilities, were blind to the coordinate of time, and that ultimately the manpower, the kind of fundamentals of the geopolitical situation in the long run favored the Soviet Union. And in many ways, Iran finds itself in the same position. I think today they understand that unlike Israel, they're able to take into consideration the various factors and elements that they'll need for ultimate victory, which I think are multifaceted. You're talking about the internal political situation in Israel. You're talking about multiple fronts. You're talking about the situation in Gaza. You're talking about the domestic politics in the United States. And I think that Iranian leadership has shown the capacity to take all of this into consideration when determining their next move. And I think that we also have to continue to remember that the United States, as I'm starting to see this unfold, the United States is saying the attacks are limited in nature. The United States will continue to try to externally promote this image that they're somehow a neutral arbitrator between Israel and Gaza and Iran, which obviously is ridiculous because materially they support Israel to the T in every single way. I mean, we've basically created their Iron Dome system. We funded them to the tune of $400 billion over the last 40 years. We produce all the component parts for their tanks, et cetera, et cetera. But we have to continue to shoot down this narrative that the United States tries to portray, that they are somehow looking after the interests of the people in the region, including the Muslims in the region, and really just hammer in how in the tank our politicians are for the Zionist entity. So, guys, I got to leave, but I just wanted to end on that note. And thank you all for this great space, the Barracks, Didi, Joey, everybody on this panel. It's been great chatting with you all, and it's always a nice reprieve to be able to talk with people who are halfway knowledgeable about these things.
John, you rock.
The world is falling apart. Thanks.
Everybody go follow John Jackman, Rising
follow
Star.
John. But he makes you feel really bad about yourself. Don't, like, before you go look at John's profile, give yourself a pep talk. John's out here, like, running 6 miles, reading Mao at the same time. I'm at home, like, I don't like the green gummy bears. I like the red.
Are you eating gummy bears right now?
Huh? Yep.
That's what Sarah's always eating is gummy bears. That's her favorite
the
food.
greens to beans.
Only the red ones, though.
Mm-hmm.
Great having you here, John.
I love John. He has good vibes.
I'm eating sun chips.
By the way, you ever notice how everybody who's Arabic as a first language always says, by the way? You all do it.
That's a mischaracterization. That's a mischaracterization.
And the further west you go, the more you guys say it. So once you get to like you guys, you're like, by the way, by the way.
That's not true.
That's just Mo.
I don't say that. No, at all.
And
now he's projecting.
And then in North African, they say actually and basically.
At least they don't say it literally or literally.
Literally, they say it like a song. Basically.
I've heard only the British say literally. Okay, so don't put that on the Arab. Don't put that on the North Africans.
Now I forget what I was gonna say.
I will go down to listener because I'm at work. I'll have to do something. So
whatever.
If it develops, I will come up again.
Just go.
I got excited and shit.
Just go get in a jet. Puglia just messaged us and said they are evacuating Esfahan airport to get ready for Iran's response.
Yeah, there would be. I mean, they shut down everything. Nothing landed. Tabriz is completely fine. Isfahan is completely fine. This is retarded. Like, what the fuck kind of weak attack was that? Like, small drones? Come on, man.
Posted in the Jumbotron.
Like, I truly believe for Israel, this is more of a cyber warfare than anything. Like, they're just scary about, making an impact on social media rather than the impact itself. It's retarded.
Yeah, I just posted in the Jumbotron.
This is what Ukraine does.
Didn't they try to supposedly negotiate the invasion of Rafah with a supposed safe face operation? And
I swear to God, Hezbollah, the attacks that Hezbollah had this morning were more exciting than this shit. What the fuck is
Between
this?
the gummy bears and Iran, I am sweating. It is like 68 degrees. It is sweltering in this bitch.
68 degrees is sweltering.
Oh, Sheila.
Well, now that Didi is acting a fool again because this is like we're not entering World War III. Can we go back to the game show that I was hosting?
Yeah, we will monitor the breaking news.
We were just airing episode 1 of a new game show. And all of them.
Are you ready? Go ahead.
Whole song and dance number about. Yeah, so I'm gonna change the.
Will you do it all over again?
Yeah. Oh man, do I have to do the bit all over again?
What do you?
You have to do the bit.
The bit, yeah. We only had 40 people in the space at the time, so let me reset the title of the space real quick.
I'm seeing a couple of reports of sirens in Israel. Is that true?
I'll go check Red Alert. One sec.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings to everyone.
Hi, Sheila. Love you,
Sheila. How are you? Alaikum salam.
I'm good. Alhamdulillah.
So nothing. You didn't miss
Didn't hear you.
Sarah, you were about to say something and then you muted.
I forgot. I was going to look for Red Alert, but I can't find it. But I'm gonna go look again. Hold on.
Is Few just going to keep his hand up, or is he actually saying something?
I don't know. Tyler and
the show?
Hugh have just like rotated, each one like keeping their hand up for periods of time, and
Oh, okay.
we all go, "Hey guys, there's no hands," and neither of them answer us, and they just go.
I actually did that by accident. I didn't even mean to have my hand up. I was switching screens.
Likely excuse, Tyler.
There goes a Few. He just leaves.
Here's the question I have.
So
Okay,
yes,
so this after
sirens
this,
are being
first hear me?
activated in northern Palestine. So yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So my question is, given this air show, this sort of firework display, I guess, what's Israel's
It's not
next
even a
move?
show, man.
Yeah, it's this sort of circus. It's the cheap circus that you see in front of the malls that that are there for a day or two. What is Israel's next response here? Or, like, what's their next move?
Well, the next move is try to deal with the Hezbollah, which will probably is carrying on attacks. 10 operations today. Probably they're starting. They started 3 this night, and right now there's sirens being activated in the north. So I think they should deal with that. But yeah, when it comes to Iran, I don't know. I still hope that Iran will do something, because they made them close their airspace and stuff like that. But this attack is so lame, man. I don't even understand why would you.
They did confirm. It was confirmed that they struck Baghdad, صح? And Syria.
No.
So those
No confirmation.
Baghdad, yeah. Exactly.
Syria, yes, but in Iraq, there's no confirmation. I didn't see anything. And reporters from Al Mayadeen on the ground from Iraq didn't report anything yet, so I'm still on the lookout.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'm just going through my posts here, and I'm getting like, who is this Alex Barnicoat kid who is fucking posting all over my fucking posts? And is everybody else getting the same shit or what?
Yes.
No, I don't know who you're talking about. Who is this guy? Some sort of troll or something?
I have no idea who that person is.
No, he's not a troll. He's just a kid trying to get famous on TikTok. Just be nice. My gosh. I just ignore him. He's got dreams. He's got, he posted this one fake news video, and I was like, this is not real. But he posted it under everybody's status. Maybe he might have a bot attached to that account, because he posted it under everybody's statuses for like a week. It might have a bot attached to it that posts right from his TikTok or something.
Oh, yeah, it's annoying. I may block him. I don't know. I don't like blocking people.
Man, he must be really annoying.
Yeah, for me to do it, it's just like I'm looking at stuff, and you get notifications, and there's people that you actually want to talk to and stuff, and then you get somebody doing this shit, especially at times like now where it's important, and you have to deal with this crap. So anyway, yeah, maybe I'll block them.
So, are we going back to the game show?
Joey Shan said the secret word. We're bringing back everyone's favorite game show. It's The Barracks Presents Will It Israel. Thank you to my lovely co-hosts Joey Shantz and DD Geopolitics for introducing everyone's favorite game show. We've got a number of fine contestants lined up for you tonight. taken the top spot after the collapse of the Zionist entity for the fakest, gayest country on earth. Up next, we have NATO's darling, Bill Clinton's favorite baby country. Give it up for Kosovo!